Hey Warriors, it's the Spirit Warrior. I've come on here today to tell you a little story. As you may see, I've been attempting to make some small videos here, but it hasn't felt right, and so there's a couple of videos I've made that I haven't posted. But I'm in a predicament today. I'll tell you a little story about what's been going on. I've been trying to live in the 5D for a while now, maybe 18 months, and I've kind of flipped and flopped between trying to live by the law of assumption and the law of attraction and the law of 5D, and I've been all confused. But it's become clear, fairly clear, in the last few months that this is where I'm meant to be. Anyhow, I work, I do gig work. I'm kind of semi-retired, and so I do gig work to try to make ends meet. And in a few weeks ago, I received a guidance from the universe that I should detach from doing this gig work because I spend a fair amount of time making a very meagre amount of money, and my life kind of focuses on about effort and making money through hard work. And the universe is really saying that you've got to get in the flow, that you have to live in the moment, and that doing this gig work is really stopping you from getting and living in the moment and receiving the flow of life. So I kind of ignored it and I kept working, and I've been working away, and then I've had some bouts of illness or where I felt really unwell and I haven't been able to work. And then about a month or so ago, the car started playing up, and guess what? I couldn't work. Well, I kind of worked away around that, and I kept working, and it's clear that this is not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to um, stop working and allow the universe to flow through me and receive abundance that way. Now, that feels like living without a safety net, and that's exactly what it's felt like. I haven't been able to get past this feeling of needing the safety work of doing gig work to put money on the table and pay my bills. Anyhow, so the car stopped working, and I kind of worked around that, and I kept working. And then last Thursday, which is about a week ago, I had a little episode. I was picking up a delivery, and I collapsed. I was standing next to the car, and the next minute I know I'm lying on the floor. And so I went to the doctor, and I had chest infection and asthma and all that kind of stuff. And so I couldn't work for 3 days. And then, well, I didn't work for 2 days. And then I decided I need to go out and make a little bit of money so I can live. And lo and behold, um, it seems during the fall that the camera in my phone is broken. And initially it was okay. I reset the phone and the camera worked. And then I went to work, try to work yesterday, and this company requires you to periodically take a selfie of yourself to verify that it's you who's doing the work. And guess what? The selfie camera doesn't work. And so there seems to be this escalating um, group of incidents that are preventing me from work. So I went down to the tech shop yesterday to see if I could get the camera fixes a lot more money than I could afford. And so I kind of went, it seems like I have to not work. And so I've been focusing on living in the moment, and it hasn't felt too good all the time. I still feel like I don't have a safety net, and trying to trust the universe has not been that easy. And I had thoughts this morning that I should ring this company and see if they could get around requirement for a photo and go and work. But I can tell you that the feeling within me is that that's not what I'm supposed to do. So here I am. I decided to come on here because I needed to do something cathartic and something positive so that I feel as though I'm making some progress towards allowing the universe to flow through me. And I did pray last night and I did ask my guides and angels for guidance, and they said I need to allow. So here I am focusing on living in the moment and trying to allow um, the universe to flow through me and allow the things I need in life to come into my life. So you might think I'm crazy. I probably am. It may be all these incidences of um, the universe putting stumbling blocks in my way to prevent me from actually going out and doing physical work is um, me having, a psychological breakdown, maybe. Anyhow, it is a bit more deeper than the thought process. Um, you know, I am more than intuitive, and the feeling I get is that I need to follow this process, as uncomfortable and as challenging as it is. So, as part of this, I thought I'd tell you the story about my spiritual journey and how I got here and why I'm sitting here trying to allow the universe to bring me the things in life or show me the things in life that I'm supposed to do. So in 1999, I went and saw a healer. I've been having some kind of difficulties, and I went and saw a spiritual healer, and that was really the beginning of my Kundalini awakening. So at that stage, I was married in a difficult, what we'll call a difficult marriage, and this Kundalini process. Now, if you're not aware of what Kundalini is, there's plenty of all sorts of crazy thoughts and ideas about what Kundalini is on the internet. But essentially, what it is a clarification of all of the blockages in you. So, particularly in the chakras, it really is about the clearing of negative energy in the chakras. And so, it can be a challenging process because really what happens is that all this trauma and blockages actually rise up, and you have to work your way through it. So you really live the challenging parts of life twice. Isn't that great? Anyhow, so this went on for a few years at a fairly slow pace. And in 2016, I finally got divorced. And can I say hip hip hooray? Well, anyhow, it felt like I was breaking out of jail. And we might edit that bit out. And in 2018, I decided, after all of the house was sold and everything was settled and yada, 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 that I would travel the world for a year, which is what I did. And as part of that, I did the Camino de Santiago, which is an 800-kilometre pilgrimage walk across Spain. And this was really the start of my healing journey. And that was the process. I was pretty broken. And I'm a much stronger, more robust and clear person now. And it was a fabulous and difficult experience. Anyhow, I travelled literally around the world for a year. I visited 28 countries, did 80,000 kilometres, and had a fabo time. I came back and life wasn't so great. I had been estranged from my daughter uh, before I left, and we had some conversations whilst I was away. And I thought I was coming back to maybe a healed relationship, but my ex-wife soon saw pay to that, and I haven't spoken to my daughter since. And I'd lost a lot of weight doing the Camino, and I put all this weight back on, and life was really difficult. And Kundalini really kicked in, like, um, in earnest is the word. It really dominated my life to the point where I couldn't work for 5 years. I was just a broken shell of a man, and we went through COVID as well, and it was all an extremely difficult process. Anyhow, 2 years ago, I finally kind of started to come over the crest, and I started to be the person that I'm supposed to be, the person that I am now, who is self-loving, has self-belief, and really enjoys life. But the it seems as though that, and they often say that when you're going through a rebuild or awakening, that the universe actually removes all the structures from your life so that everything is kind of stripped out, and that included my financial safety net. And so I ended up doing this gig work because planned. I hadn't planned. I'm not working for 5 years, and I'd planned to come home and work and consolidate my life and fall in love and have a great time. It hasn't been like that really. It's been a really hard graft, and in the last couple of years, I finally realised what a great person I am, and I've never felt that like that in my life before. So I finally felt like I'm a great person. I'm ready to do stuff. I started doing tarot on YouTube about 3 years ago. I had one channel. The algorithm kind of blew that away, and I started again. And I enjoy what I do, but honestly, I had hope for bigger things. I earn a little bit of money from YouTube, but not very much. And so I've been doing this gig work and living hand to mouth for some time, and I'm really ready for more, as I say. And and it seems that the path to more is to do less, and that is for your ego a really difficult thing because we're all trained that to make more money you do more. That it's a bit of a lie, but that is the premise of modern society, isn't it? You go out and work your guts out and you make more money. But in a spiritual sense, doing more can actually interfere with the flow of creating something else because you're always in your head about going out and working and maximizing, and it becomes the imperative of life, and it, it interferes with living in the moment, which is allowing the magic of the universe to do its thing, because to receive the magic and the miracles of the universe, you have to give it space. And this isn't something that everybody recognizes, that they believe they can do their mantras and their vision boards and still work the same. But really, the call to manifesting is really a call to personal change, that you need to change the way you view life, and you also need to give the universe space to make the changes in your life. Because the best example is, and this this may challenge a lot of people, is that you ask to manifest money and then you spend every spare 5 minutes looking in your bank account to see if the universe has delivered. And that is the exact opposite. That what you should do is that you should visualize receiving the money and spending the money and how great that is on your life. And then you should live in the moment, that you should trust, that you need to trust the universe will deliver. And every time you go looking in the bank account, you take away the space the universe has to offer to manifest the money in your life. And I know it's a bit gibberish, but once you kind of have asked the universe for what you want and visualized, you need to detach from the outcome. And that is one of the most difficult things you'll ever do, because the human in us, or the ego in us, wants to check. You want to see if it's happening. Are you there, universe? Are you making this happen for me? And essentially what you're doing is filling in the space. You're blocking the machinations of the universe to deliver what you've asked for. And this is why many people fail. It's because they don't, trust. We don't want to trust the universe. We want to micromanage the universe to deliver what we want. And that's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. So here I am trying to not micromanage the universe. I'm trying to leave it some space, and I'm trying to stay in the moment to receive the things in life that I truly desire. So, am I crazy? Comment below. Um, leave me your comments about what you think. Um, these are very different ideas to what many people have about manifesting, but I can tell you from personal experience that this is how it goes. And I will fill you in and tell you how I go in the next few days. Thank you for listening to me. This is the Spirit Warrior signing out, feeling kind of crazy. Ciao.